Is there a trick to actually not caring what other people think?
Tequila.
I think
One for the new guy. That's a good one.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Retirement House podcast. The topic for this week is a big one: confidence.
You guys voted on our Instagram and wanted to know how to get it, how to keep it, and what to do when you don't have any. Lucky for you, we've lived long enough to figure some things out. So let's get into it.
All right, gang. Some people say confidence is something you're born with. Others say it's something you build. So let's start with the ladies. What do you think the truth is?
I think the truth is it's a combination, and a lot of it depends on who your father was. If your father adores you and gives you everything he can, like mine did, then your confidence comes natural to you. And you end up choosing a husband or a mate that's similar to your father, and it keeps your confidence going in every area.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know about all that. My father wasn't that involved in my life, but I
Well,
was a
maybe
pretty
you
confident
needed a
guy.
mother that
Yeah.
treated
Well,
you
just
that
just
way.
parents. If the parents make you feel confident in what you're doing and back you.
I think every trait you have is a combination of nature versus nurture. And also, it's being loved unconditionally that gives you confidence.
You know, I got a lot of my confidence in school from just actually being a good student. And you feel proud of yourself,
Yeah.
you know, when your teacher gives you accolades. And that kind of gave me my confidence because I was a good student. And hopefully, I think that's where it came from first.
Yeah, when you get recognized
Yes.
for what you're doing.
Yes.
Well, that's why teachers should be so, adored, like great teachers, coaches. I'm sure all of us can remember a coach or a teacher who was that pivotal person in our lives that went, oh, that's when I became confident or I went a certain direction. Because not everybody has a great father or a great mother.
Correct.
Sometimes
Yeah, yeah.
we don't get to choose,
Yeah.
you know.
If they're even around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That
guess
part.
then they need a great teacher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I think
Somebody.
everybody should have a great father and a great mother for sure.
And bringing in either whether it's a coach, a teacher, or your parents, keeping the positivity up, not saying your faults, but you're good at this, you're good at that, very good, congratulations. And even in the small things when you're younger in school, or the teacher says, "Oh, that was nice," it was just a little simple drawing or something. The little things add up.
And letting you know that you can do or be anything that you want
Yes.
to be.
Right.
And a big part of self-confidence is loving yourself, because I'm sounding like Mr. Rogers, but
Yeah.
you are everything. No one else can be as good as you.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you don't need to be popular. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be beautiful to be confident. Just be you. That's enough.
I always got confidence if I was prepared for something, if I dressed right, felt good about myself, had a good night of sleep. All of the things that just make you feel comfortable as a person seem to me to help me.
So-
If I look bad or feel like I'm dressed weird or something, I'm not as confident as if I was.
Right.
Or if I'm late to something and not on. Everything that you do that makes you feel just comfortable gives me the confidence, I would say.
So preparation,
Yes,
and that's part
preparation.
of self-confidence.
Yes.
You know what you need to do.
Yes.
And you've got to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but I think the internet we didn't grow up with the internet.
No.
So I think the internet it's a wonderful tool, but it also, I don't know if I would want to be a 20-something young lady now.
Yes.
Being
I don't know if
examined.
I would have gone to New York City and became a dancer. Because if I had the internet, I would see how great everybody
Yeah,
looked.
yeah.
And I'd be like, hell no, I'm not going to go to New York City because everybody's better than me. So I think it's really challenging for
Younger
this
people.
younger generation. I think that's really hard.
And bringing that up, what about failure? Does failure typically come from not having confidence, or does it come from having too much confidence?
I think it'd be a byproduct of both, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And failing at something sure stops you the next time you go to try it, or at least warns you to slow down.
Yeah.
Well,
But we
failure,
shouldn't be afraid of failure, though.
No, that
No.
can be
because that
very
might direct
Failure
us
is
in the way.
usually a lesson.
You know,
Yes.
Right.
then you're in reality, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah, no.
you have to want to, you have to take chances. Some of the most successful people have failed many times.
It's kind of like the saying, you have to fail to succeed.
right.
Because if you don't try, you won't fail, but you won't succeed either.
Right. That's right.
Well, Thomas Edison had
Thomas
an
Edison.
old friend of mine.
Yeah, I believe it. I
Yes,
believe
yes.
it's true.
He said that, I failed 1,000 times, but that taught me how to make the
I
correct way.
bombed 1,000 times on stage doing
Yeah.
stand-up.
Oh.
It got me to the next show and made me a better comic. So,
Well, you learned
yes.
every time you fell down.
Yeah, you
right?
learn more from falling down than you do from having success.
But I
Yes.
think that what happens though is what is that confidence that allows someone like you to fall down and keep going, because some people would have just then never continued. So
Whenever I have bombed on stage, I always look for why. And it's usually I didn't read the audience correctly. I didn't know what they wanted to hear, what was interesting to them. So as I got older as a comic, I learned to read the crowd a little more, and I bombed a lot less.
and which brings up just basically experience. It's an experience. The failure is an experience. Learn from it
Right. And
and
build
move on
on
and build on it, and knowing that it's part of life. Not everything's going to be perfect. And then plus the fact it makes, when you do succeed, it makes it that much sweeter. That you worked, you failed at something, you kept with it, and then you won. As actors, we know auditions, it's not so much we failed, we just weren't right for it. That took me a while to learn that, yeah, it wasn't me. As the casting directors tell you, it's not you, it's you weren't right for the part. Or so the director's niece got the part, nephew got the part or something. It's part of the business, but yeah, so when you do get it or get a call back, it builds your confidence a bit like, yeah, hey, I'm good, I could do it.
when I came from Erie, Pennsylvania. My dream was to be a professional dancer. I wanted to be a Rockette. I went to New York City and I was too short. So my whole idea was like I was going to be this Rockette. So it blew up in my face. But then I continued to be on scholarship and my path went very different. Because, I had to keep going. And so, I mean, I had many, many auditions where I didn't get what I thought because I was too short or, not enough of this or that. But I ended up working as a professional dancer for 18 years. But it was a complete different path, completely, right? So I think when those failures, more doors open, right? And maybe we're not supposed to be in a certain direction. So the fact that it didn't opened doors to other things that I had no idea I could do.
It led you to another path. Yeah.
And I couldn't give up because I told everybody I was going to do it, and then I couldn't go home because then everybody would say, I told you so.
That's right.
And then I would end up in Erie, Pennsylvania the rest of my life, which isn't bad, but I think part of that was like I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to, because I thought I would fail and disappoint everybody around me.
Well, it's something about confidence and failure is you can be put in a position where you have to try something that maybe you've never done this before. You never even thought about it. But you do have self-confidence. You can just give it your best. Okay, I have no idea what this is, but I'll just take it and fly with it and see what I can do. And a lot of times accolades will come out of that because they just see, like, they know that you don't know what the heck you're doing, but you made something out of it. And auditions for one, there was a lot of things that I was called in for that, no, I wasn't right for. But they remembered something that happened in that audition. And then they called me back later on they go, that guy,
Right.
he would be perfect for this one. And so it's just a matter of that self-confidence. And yeah, you can fake it until you make it. I mean, that does work to a point. But, it's feeling good about yourself, having the confidence to block out, all the noise from the committee about what they think. And, you're not good enough or you can't do this or who they're looking at you or they're listening too close. Oh, my God, he blinked when I said that. And, you just got to let all that baloney go. and do your best.
Well, don't hate me, but I call myself an accidental actress because I got the very first thing that I tried out for.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great.
Cool.
But otherwise, your confidence, no one can give it to you, but no one can take
No.
it away either. And don't care what anybody else says.
I think that's a big thing, right? And
Yes.
being curious. I think
Yes.
you should wake up every day and be curious and be willing to just let it flow and not be, I think, not be afraid to fail so that you even try. And then if you do fail at something, then it just might open up another door if you keep curious and
Yeah.
open.
And if you're curious, you go, I wonder if I could do that. That kind of looks, that's interesting. I wonder if I can get away with that. Yeah.
And trying isn't failing.
No.
And
Right.
your confidence is contagious, though, too. You know
Yes.
that. Just so you know that you're contagious. I love listening to everything. It spurs me on to being more confident
Good.
with things that I'm involved in.
I can usually get people to be more confident than I can to get confident myself.
I don't believe it.
Does confidence get easier or harder as you get older?
I think it's easier.
On some things.
Confidence can actually open doors. I'm one of the world's worst dancers, but I think I dance like I'm Gene Kelly, like I'm just
Have you
Fred Astaire.
have you seen some of us on retirement home dancing?
Regrettably, but I did audition for a commercial that had stars in it, had dancing in it. Those are two clues, and I got the audition.
Good.
Right.
And I didn't do so well on the commercial because they found out that he just had confidence.
Not ability, but the confidence in it.
Yeah, confidence only goes so
Far, yeah.
You actually
talent,
need
too.
two good feet there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, everybody is concerned about themselves, so they don't care about you. So don't worry about what other people think of you.
Yes, that's
It's what
it.
you
Yeah,
think of yourself.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, if you listen to everybody telling you what they think you should or should not do, you wouldn't even get up in the morning, right?
That's like when you mentioned the internet now with the kids and social media is telling you no, you know you can do it. You just keep at it.
A lot of us lose confidence because we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people. So how do we stop that?
Maybe rather than comparing ourselves, we look at other people, many other people, and try to draw their best attributes to ourselves so that we can get better in different areas. Otherwise, I don't know how you would do that because
Well, I think you have a good point there because then that would be jealousy, right? If we look at somebody else and maybe they have something, and jealousy is dangerous, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we can't, and we have to know that we're unique.
I-
I love what you just
I
said.
think jealousy, I'm not a jealous person, and I think jealousy is the worst thing you can have because the attributes of somebody else can make a friendship. Rather
Yeah.
than jealousy does not make a friendship.
No, I think that's where people start comparing, right? And instead of looking at themselves going, oh, wait a minute, I love what they have. And how can I actually honor what they have and maybe even, use a little bit of what they have?
I have a little life experience with comparing. I'm an identical twin. So I've been comparing for over 60 years. And it's not fun, especially he's very, very successful. And I was pretty successful, but when I say very, very successful, too successful for my concerns. But I've had a lifetime of doing that. And at some point, you got to put it away. I haven't found that point yet, but I'll get there. But at some point, you get over it, or you try to. You keep trying. The best thing to come to terms with it is the successes that I've had even late in life. I was a vice principal before, and that was pretty nice. But being a stand-up comic, it took me to a whole different level as far as how I felt about myself, because it's just me, and I'm responsible for the whole show. And being successful doing that kind of built my ego up a little bit. Not to where his is, but at least I'm on the road.
No, you do that as actors. And I had a friend way back when I came out here, and he was also from Massachusetts. And he was booking these big commercials, and I wasn't. So I said, what am I doing wrong? Not realizing it's very simple. He's 6 foot tall. He had the mustache at the time I didn't. It was the look.
Right.
And that's what it was. And then I went back in, gained confidence, and say, yeah, this is me. This is what they want. And keeping the confidence that way, and you got to let it go.
Right.
Some friends are married, successful, good for them. Wish you the best. This is what I want, and this is what I'll keep trying to do. And the confidence comes up and just simply believing in yourself.
And not living too. You don't want to live. I mean, I'm big on not living for the world. What does that mean? It doesn't mean you can't make money. It doesn't mean you can't be successful. But definitely, if you live for the material world, it's going to let you down because you can be your brother in a glass house. But if he doesn't have his heart in the right place, that glass house is going to do absolutely nothing.
I should probably do one more anecdote about him. We're identical twins. No one could tell us apart. Then he got plastic surgery. A small nose and a classic chin. I'm basically his before picture.
He knew you were the better looking one. He couldn't compare to you,
I
so he
don't
got the
know.
plastic
I don't
surgery.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in my budget.
I'm glad you didn't do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm glad that you preserved your handsome looks.
Were you shattered?
Well, I was. Then he had a perfect smile, but I copied that. But it's just weird when you go places and tell people he's your identical twin, and they look at you, and it's like, not really.
And comparison is a zero-sum game because there's always going to be
Yeah.
somebody
Yes.
Yeah.
more successful than you,
Yeah.
richer than you, more educated than you, more whatever than you. And it's not like there's a limit to it. Just because somebody has something doesn't mean that you can't have it too.
I just wanted to thank all our viewers and subscribers because it's given me confidence as far as, now that I'm a grand influencer. I don't know what the heck it meant, but it was nice. And we go on trips and they're recognized, and yeah, that builds your confidence up. I went home once a couple of years ago and people would say, "Oh, you're the TikTok star." I said, "Yeah, but it's TikTok. Yeah, it's okay." Last year when I went home, I went looking for it. Like maybe someone going to look over. Hey, I'm here. I'm a grand influence, and nothing. And then Retha, God bless her, said, "If you go looking for it, you're not going to find it.
Yeah.
Let it
But
find
they
you."
surprised you, right?
Oh yeah, they did. Wow, we watch it. Oh, okay, great. On the flip side, can comparing yourself to other people lead to making positive life changes? Is there a healthy balance?
If they're seen as more of a role model than something that you have to aspire to. And
Okay, yeah.
people have to remember that what's on the internet, that's curated. So
Yeah,
it's not like these people come
Right.
out and they're perfect.
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to put out ugly, footage of yourself, or you're going to, so that might not be good. But definitely having a role model. I go back to the coaches or teachers. I'm sure all of us can remember that one person that definitely looking up to them did help us
Sure.
expand.
And comparing yourself, it can be a productive action because, like a role model, you're continuously comparing yourself and looking like, well, you see how he treats other people. You see how easily he comes about that and how easily people come to him. You start looking in there to what are those qualities that I have or I can nurture to be more like that. And yeah, a role model is perfect for that explanation. I think it's great to have role models. That's how you learn. That's how you find out what you're really about, what you like, what your interests are, and how you would like to be as a human being.
And you don't have to take every quality that he or she has
Right.
to look up to it, because nobody can be looked up to like that. But take a little bit from every little person or big
Yeah.
person.
Big person.
Well, I will never do something artistically with paint and a board, because my sister's a recognized, or what she was, a recognized artist with paintings hanging in American embassies all over the world.
Wow.
So I do not paint. But I've always looked up to her with everything. But when you have a close relative or person or influencer that is so excellent at something, I just figured it was better for me if I found something on my own and not try to copy them.
Yeah.
But what if you actually loved painting? That would be a different, right? You
But
wouldn't.
I never have.
Right.
actually
Okay.
loved
I just want
Yeah.
to make sure, right? Like you
No.
wouldn't have stopped yourself because maybe you would be the next great painter.
Right, but I never have. Actually, my mother was an artist, my grandfather was an artist, and my sister. But I just didn't. It just didn't turn me on.
Right.
But I loved watching my sister's products.
Right. Right.
That was very exciting.
Is there a trick to actually not caring what other people think?
Tequila.
I think
One for the new guy. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I think so because that's recognizing your unique self, right? God made everyone unique.
Yeah.
So I think there is this idea of, I think I love the word curious. I love the idea that you explore who you are and not be afraid of that. So that, because everybody shines in different ways and we might be blocking ourselves too much. So I think there's a, yes, in not caring. To a point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be aware. Like, look, if you just absolutely suck at something and you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, you kind of have to wake up and go, maybe I should go a different direction, right? But I think you should at least not care and try.
Absolutely. If you have something you want to do, you turn off the noise from the outside, you turn off the noise from inside your head, and you do it. And if you fail at it but you enjoy it, then go for it. You can be a lousy dancer, or
Excuse me.
or you can be a really good dancer and always
Thank
thought
you,
you were
thank you,
lousy
thank
until you go out and do it, and people go, "Hey, that's pretty good." Have you ever thought of doing a little more of this?
Well, if it's constructive criticism, you can take that,
Yeah.
and then if someone is better than you at something, which there will be people, then I would take it. Okay, you have to work on this. Then I'll work on that. Thank you. But if it's negative stuff like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, or you should get a real job, or something, no, thank you nicely, and then
Right.
forget it.
Sure.
I think what you're describing is jealousy.
Yes.
Otherwise, how can you think of all of
Yes.
Right.
thanks.
And I like having that quality of not being an envious person.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
still recognize things I'd like. I'm just not envious of the people that have them.
I wish I wasn't so envious of some great comedians, but it makes me get better. It makes
Yeah.
me work harder.
Well,
Yeah, what-
That's,
think-
I think envy
right.
can actually stir you to work harder. And
Yeah,
be
yeah.
better,
What
better
are
at
they
you're
doing that makes them so great?
Right.
And what's
Right.
special about them, and then
Yeah.
find out what's special about yourself.
Right.
'Cause
Yes.
everybody has something special within themselves
Yeah.
that they can explore.
I think of Maria singing, "I have confidence in sunshine. I have confidence in me." Well, I shouldn't be singing, but
You'll have to sometime here. You'll have to sing sometime.
Yes.
then the birds are going to fall out of the sky, and you got to stop. But it's kind of self-talk.
Right.
So let's talk about taking chances. Some say confidence comes from stepping out of our comfort zone, right? Others say that we need to prepare first. So should we take that leap before we're actually ready or wait until we're really sure? Ladies?
Well, I think some things you do are sort of ad-libbed, and that's the real you. So, I don't that's your frame of confidence at that time in your life. I don't know what else to think about it.
I think you definitely should step out of your comfort zone. You should, especially the younger you are, you should try as many things in life as you possibly can. I didn't know I was going to do stand-up till I was over 60. I wish I had tried it at 20 and knew I'd loved it. I would have known that I loved it and probably continued it then. That's why I encourage youngsters to try everything, because you never know what you could be special at until you've given it a try.
Yeah, I think getting out of your comfort zone is important. Hey, when I auditioned for this,
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like a goofball, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And my son was like, "Oh my gosh, this is hilarious, Mom! Really?"
Yeah.
So I don't know, right? So
That's the key to it.
you just wake up and go, "Okay, here I am."
I know. Say yes to everything. I thought this was a good fit because I am active and I am a goofball. So here I am.
Yeah. And if you don't try, then you get complacent.
Exactly.
You're not, and you start shutting down, I think, too. When you're not open to new things and trying new things and finding out things that you've never tried before, then that brings you out of yourself.
Absolutely.
And you get out your own way, and you can expand and grow in talent and heart.
And
know.
if you want to wait till you're sure, you may keep putting it off.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not quite there yet. I'm
Yeah,
not quite.
yeah, yeah.
And then you've missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
Try it, fail, see what you got to work on, and continue.
Well, those
don't
are
wait.
opportunities that
Yeah.
you can. I mean, I actually can think of one. So years ago, my first job, I worked with Alice Cooper, and I was his backup dancer, screamer, whip dancer, and I
Snake eater?
secretly,
Snake eater.
No, but just kind of not what I studied for, but it
Right.
was a gig. And I secretly wanted to do a rock and roll album, but I just thought, oh, I'm not, I'm working with all these stars and there's no way. And about 10 years later or something, I remember he said something, well, if she would have asked, we would have been able to probably produce a record. And so, but I was so nervous. So that's where you think of times where you stop yourself. Like you said, you would
Yeah.
have done stand up years ago, something, So I think it's good to get out of your comfort zone because then you don't know and you might miss that opportunity.
And you're never going to be 100% prepared. So just go
Right.
for it.
Yeah.
No.
So what about big life changes? Moving to a new city, quitting a job, starting over. How do you know if you have the confidence to pull it off?
I did it. I just took a leap of faith. I was a caregiver of my dad who had Alzheimer's, and he was 94, and then we came from Wisconsin to be with my son here, and so he was my only person.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So it was a challenge, but we managed to do it. So I'm still working on getting acclimated and making friends, and so this wouldn't have happened if I hadn't come out here. This was
Right.
it was
Yep.
a gift.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so out of this comes a really interesting question. So is it brave or is it reckless to change your life completely?
I don't think it's reckless. I think it's brave. Because you're in a process. If it's not working out, go back.
Yeah.
But changing your life completely, I think that variety is a wonderful experience in life. And yes, I think it's a good thing.
I think it can be both brave, but
Or
then
reckless if, yeah.
but semi prepared for it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it depends on if you have people that are depending on you. Okay.
Correct.
So as a mother, I would have to be not so reckless if it wasn't going to behoove my children, right? If it's just me, okay, whatever, right? But I think it could be reckless if people are dependent on you, and brave if they're not.
On my part, I'd say brave because I was leaving hometown, love my folks, love my relatives, to come out 3,000 something miles to California because at the time, Hollywood was the place
Yeah.
for TV and movies. And to come out, that my parents were backing me. They'd miss me. They didn't want me to go, but, he's what he wants to
They're
do.
supporting
Let him
you.
supporting you very much. Thank you. And to go out and to come out here. So, yeah, I think it's definitely brave. If it's really what you want, it's really what I wanted to get out, do something. And Hollywood was the place, so goodbye.
I like what Karen said. It really depends on if people are depending on
Yeah.
you.
Sure.
And I'm sure I would have loved to be a comic at 25, but I had 3 kids at 25 too. So me going into education, being a vice principal, was a more solid choice for the family's sake. it probably would have been reckless. I probably would have loved to do it, but it probably would have been slightly reckless to do that because I'm quite sure if they saw my act, I wouldn't be in education long.
You know, it's funny. What?
But 3 kids was probably comedy gold.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of material comes
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah.
But actually, for me, I've done this a lot of times. I mean, fortunately, I've had, fortunately and unfortunately, I've had periods in my life where it was just me. And I mean, I can think right away about a job that was just terrible for me to be in. I didn't like the job. I was making okay money and stuff like that, but there's more to life than that. And they relied on me. Well, yeah, I was being manipulated. And so, I took it, and I just said, no, never mind. I know it's a busy day, and I'm sorry, but I walked in here and saw you all look at me, and something just clicked, and I have to go. I'm sorry. Here's the keys. Hasta la vista. And things like that happen. Being retired, so to speak, which I always follow up with saying, I've enjoyed it every time I've tried it. and I'm in a place now, and so is my wife, that we picked up and moved here 3.5 years ago now, almost. And I mean, we're natives of Northern California, and things just weren't happening. And we were at a period where we had moved away from our normal area that we lived in, just to try and find a safer place. And this was after 2 fires and
Right.
other things. And it still didn't work. The people we were around weren't really our people. It just didn't sit right with us. And my wife saw me driving 4 hours round trip to do a 15-minute audition. And, she
Oh
goes,
boy.
"Oh, you know what? Why don't we just go to L.A.?" And I was at a point I could do that. And so was she. We picked up, we packed the house up into a storage unit, and off we went.
Right.
And, I had my first audition the second day I was here. And that just happened to be this.
Oh, and we're so glad you tried out.
I met you there.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Up on
Dancing
the
a rooftop.
Up on the rooftop.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a whole different thing. But I wouldn't have been here if I didn't just say the heck with it. It's not reckless. If I still had my son and he was in school or something like
Yeah,
that,
that's different.
you have people, you have responsibility. Or if my parents were still alive, I wouldn't have done that, or I would have been a lot more creative about things. But without it, you have to be able to judge the moment and take the leap, because you never know what you're going to find. I mean, I've made mistakes doing that, and you go, well, this isn't what I expected.
And you can always go back.
And,
right?
yeah,
or
you
regroup, like you were saying.
Right.
Regroup, right?
Exactly.
As mentioned earlier, we have fans submit questions to our Instagram poll, and we have some really great questions to answer as a group. The first one comes from Kayla Bire, and she asks, "Hey, Retirement House, love you guys. Awesome, thank you. So I gave one really good pep talk at work, like really hyped her coworkers. Suddenly everybody thought that she was amazing, that she was a confidence guru. People are coming to her, asking her for advice. She says, my boss asked me to lead a motivational seminar. And she says, I'm pretty sure my dentist just DM'd me for pep talk before the wedding, okay? But she says, here's the thing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I am deeply, deeply insecure. How do I get the confidence to keep faking confidence?
Keep going, girl.
Yeah. One foot in front of the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because actually she's actually created something, right? Because they feel good.
Right.
I don't know if you guys ever, there was an amazing, say this really quick, but it was an amazing documentary. A guy pretended to be a guru. And he actually created that he was this guru from India, and he had all these followers. And then he was helping people, and people loved him. And then he came out and said, I'm a fake. And there were so many people mad at him, but then there were people like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you actually made me feel great.
It works.
So she has like this natural ability. I think you're right. Fake it to, doesn't even have to fake it.
No, people have told her she's very good at it. They wanted her to do this motivational speaker. If she liked it, she must be good at it. If someone else is asking you, then become a motivational speaker. Believe in yourself. If other people believe in you, then you must be doing something right and believe in
And just
yourself
getting
that you can do it.
positive reinforcement.
Yes.
Well, this goes along with everything else we've been talking about this morning. The confidence and self-confidence and believing in yourself and risking. That's the thing. You have to be able to risk, because if you never risk, you'll never get anywhere. You would never have taken that first step as a baby if you hadn't done that.
But if she actually does take some extra steps to prepare, maybe make a note card, something that she could pull out of the back pocket if she got lost, and then she'll feel more secure in her presentation if she prepares herself a little better. And I think that
And that would
you
give
feel
her more
confident.
self-confidence,
Confidence.
too.
Or you're not, you don't have to worry. Because a lot of comics carry a little thing in their back pocket in case they forget a joke or forget where they were going, and they pull it out, and it's even if they never pull it out, it's just their safety back.
Yeah,
Right.
safety net.
Yeah,
Yes.
safety
And
Well,
that'll
I mean,
spark their memory.
this might be a new whole career for her. So, why not then? I mean, take a course. You could take like an online course for, giving advice or motivational speaking. Who's the guy with the beautiful teeth? The big motivational speaker guy. Teeth.
Tim.
Oh, Tony Richards?
Yeah, Tony.
No, Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins,
Right?
yes.
Yes.
Right? Like she could go, he does a free weekend or something like that. And
Yeah.
then she could this could be a game changer for her whole path.
Absolutely.
Because she obviously has a natural ability.
Yeah. This next question comes from Daniel DeBach. So I used to be super shy. Believe it or not, so was I about 60 years ago as a kid, very super shy. Like, could barely order at a restaurant, shy. Then I read a bunch of self-help books, took an improv class, and started doing daily affirmations in the mirror. It worked too well. Now I have too much confidence. I challenged my own grandma to a foot race. I applied to be a CEO despite 0 qualifications. I told my boss he needs to believe in himself more. My friends say I need to dial it back. But I say, cowards. Do I really need to tone down my confidence, or are they just intimidated by my energy? Ooh. What to say?
Sounds like a combination in there of both.
Yes.
Well, I don't think you can have too much confidence, but it depends how you use it. I mean,
Right.
you don't want to be a jerk.
Or annoying.
Right. Annoying, a jerk, an
Yeah.
egomaniac.
Yeah.
Not reading the room, obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't tell your boss, he should, if you want that job, you know.
Confidence should never go into being disrespectful to other people. So
Yeah.
just keep
Right.
that.
Knowing who you are. Don't force yourself on people, and watch your ego.
Yeah, do a little self-examination.
Yeah. Yes.
It should come from a place of really wanting to help others.
Yeah.
So if you're always in that place of your intention is I truly want to help others and it's not about me, then obviously that would be good for him.
Yeah. I hope that helps you, Daniel.
Here's another question from Brandon Chase. Hey guys, so I used to be the most confident person ever, life of the party, first on the dance floor, could talk my way into VIP anywhere. Then one day I embarrassingly stumbled my way through a big presentation in college and my confidence has never recovered. I second guess everything now. Do I stand weird Will I ever be able to public speak again? I feel like I was the main character and now I'm an awkward background extra.
Well, take some of Daniel's confidence.
Yeah, get together with Daniel.
Sure.
Take an improv class.
Yes.
And another shot of tequila.
So, I mean, you had all that confidence in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, you can,
You know it's there.
it's there. Just remember who you were, and in other words, who you really are, and just dig it back out.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you do to be that good?
Right.
And go back to that.
And
And
do an
believe in
improv
yourself.
class.
Well, and also too, just because maybe one thing happened doesn't define who you are.
Right.
Right.
Like,
Forever.
hello. Yeah.
Well,
okay. So we get knocked down.
Yeah.
Pull up those bootstrings and get back up. Right.
You're not always going to win.
Nope.
Not everything is perfect.
Absolutely. And there must have been something in that one speech. There was someone in the audience, there was some goal that was attached to this, and that failure carried so much weight for you. So maybe you might take a look at that.
All right, folks. It's time for our rapid fire round. Give us your gut reaction, short answers only.
When did you feel the most confident in your life?
When I sat down in this chair and I knew there was a pillow underneath to make me look taller. There you go.
Right on.
I think as time went on and I became my own person and knew who I was and that I was a good person and friendly and that people liked me. They really liked me.
Being a mom.
Booking my first job with 2.5 men and being on the set, realizing I belong there.
I think it was getting my master's degree. It gave me a lot of confidence.
Letting go. Learning to let go of things. That really helped me a lot because I did used to think a lot about what people thought and listened way too much to my the group in my head that told me and commented on everything. Once I let go of that, I really was more singular and really my own person.
When did you feel the least confident in life?
I don't know, because I used to fake it a lot. So if I can't remember. I'm getting too old to remember that far back.
Being a middle child, my siblings are both extroverted. So, but now that I realize that I'm an ambivert.
I just have to tell you that I'm a middle child, and middle children are either neglected or they get all the attention. And you better believe I got this.
You got the attention for sure. I would say when I went to New York City when I was in 22 years old. I was very, freaked out.
When I first came out here and realizing, did I make the right decision?
I think it was when I became a dad in high school more than once. And I was at an all-boys high school, so I don't know how I did that.
Talk to you about the facts of life later on, Greg.
Was that your best joke?
A whole new you.
Yeah. I think it was probably my first divorce. It was probably when I was least confident. Because the first one was always the worst.
Okay, I was always second guess myself. How do I stop?
And just think about what the alternative would be.
Go with your gut.
Take chances.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. Just be yourself.
Exactly. Just be yourself.
I love my job, but I feel like a fraud. How do I shake imposter syndrome?
Realize that everybody else is faking it too.
I think you just keep going, go with your gut to figure it out.
Just believe that you do belong there.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, you can do that. But, you're there for a reason. You didn't just stumble into it. You're there for a reason, and just trust that. And you're free to stumble and make a mistake and bounce right back.
What's sexier, confidence or mystery?
Confidence.
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 Mystery.
What's your go-to power pose?
I opened my big blue eyes and that's it for them.
I smile.
Laughing.
Standing up straight.
Smiling.
If you could give one confidence tip to a younger generation, what would it be?
Work hard and play hard.
Just do it. Thanks, Nike.
Be curious, let go, and let it flow.
Believe in yourself and follow your dream.
Prepare and love everybody.
Find the enjoyment in everything.
All right, my confident kings and queens, here's the takeaway. Confidence isn't about all the answers. It's about trusting yourself anyway.
Whether you're 18 or 80, you're never too old to stand tall, speak up, and take up space. Bye, everyone. Remember to subscribe.